Hi, my name's Zeb. I'm 13 years old and I live in Taranaki. My project is called Climate Control System for Your Home Greenhouse. It's a solar-powered system that lets you set the trigger points for controlling soil moisture and air temperature. Many people have problems with growing plants in their greenhouse because the conditions aren't right. Whether it's their plants get disease, or they're too small and don't yield enough produce. Perhaps you can't go away when you'd like to because you have to stay home and make sure the conditions are right in your greenhouse. By controlling the climate in your greenhouse, it makes your plants have much less chance of disease, yield more and better produce, and I've made everything automated so you can go away whenever you want. Here is the 12-volt battery pack, which is then charged by this portable solar panel. The controller here is powered by the 12-volt battery pack and wirelessly transmits to the monitoring screen. Here is the relay the controller uses to provide power to the accessories. The solenoid valve, which is like a tap, which controls your water, and your fan to control your air temperature. Here is the soil moisture sensor, which reads the soil moisture and sends it to the controller. Sticking up from the box here is the temperature sensor, which reads the air temperature and sends it to the controller. When the air rushed through, that was the solenoid valve opening up. And so I'll put my finger over the temperature sensor and this will warm it up, and you'll see the fan come on to cool the air temperature down. You can see the air temperature on the monitor here warming up, and it's 27 degrees Celsius. And there we go, it's reached 29, and so the fan comes on to cool down the air. I'll then take my finger off the temperature sensor, and since it was only just above the trigger point, the fan turned off immediately. My first biggest challenge was taking the hard to understand data that the soil moisture sent out and converting it into easy to understand, user-friendly data. My second next biggest challenge was making the buttons on the controller show on the LCD screen with as little delay as possible. The hardware I used for this project is a PICAX microcontroller, but I wrote the software for the PICAX microcontroller myself. Here we are at our greenhouse, and I'm going to show you how we install the system. Take the soil moisture sensor and we'll put it on the ground next to this plant. So we've got our fan installed. Ideally the fan should be installed on the shady side of the greenhouse so it's sucking in cold air to cool the temperature. Simply unplug this. We'll take our solenoid valve and we'll plug it in this end, just like that, and then at this end. So there we are on the monitoring screen. The soil moisture is 79% and the temperature is 23 degrees Celsius. When the soil is dry, the solenoid valve will turn on to allow more water in. And when the temperature gets up above the trigger point you've set, the fan will turn on and it will suck cold air in at ground level. I would like to thank my mum and dad for mentoring me on this project, and thank you very much for taking the time to look at my project.